I've been fortunate enough to be able to live over here on the continent for the past almost 4 years, and I've been able to get connected with some very, very bright individuals, very, very smart, enthusiastic, very driven brothers and sisters who are doing things on another level that I didn't even know existed. Welcome to Message from the Motherland. So guys, we are officially here. We are finally at the point where we are recording the first episode of a podcast, the podcast that I've been thinking about for the past 3.5 years, man. I've been sitting on this idea and I've been thinking about doing this and trying to figure out what's the perfect way to launch this podcast for the past 3.5 years. And now I finally made it to a point where I'm able to record this podcast and do the work that needs to be done. So firstly, man, I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity, for giving me the platform to be able to share messages, and people are actually listening to what we have to say. So I'm grateful that God has given me this platform to share stories and do the things that I've been doing. And secondly, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have this podcast microphone that you guys are looking at. So this sort of catapulted me into me doing what I needed to do. Little bit of a backstory to getting to this point. When I say 3.5 years ago, I've been thinking about it. When I initially started thinking about doing this podcast, I was looking for different people and trying to find the perfect partner so that I can launch this thing, and it wasn't working at the time. And at the time of it not working, I was kind of getting discouraged and wondering like what was going on, because I knew it was a great idea. But I just had to learn that it wasn't the season yet. I was trying to connect with different individuals, and I was trying to make sure that, I had the perfect person on my team to do the work, and the people that I was trying to connect with were not the perfect people. So, at the time in my life, it wasn't time for me to do it. So I had to delay it and still think about it and still work on it and still tell my wife about what I was thinking about doing. And when the time came and the season was right, things came into place. Before I even got the microphone, I actually had made a great partnership with a brother of mine here in Tanzania. He's here behind the camera right now. We've actually came to an agreement, and I'm in the studio right now. Even before my wife and actually got the microphone, I had already made a deal to have a microphone and pay for it. But even the fact that she came and brought one of the missing pieces for me to be able to jump and start doing what I needed to do was even more confirmation. Like, okay, now it's time. Let's go ahead and get it done. So, now I have a good team behind me. I have an audio team. I have a media team, and I have a few different people in place that's actually helping to put this thing in place. So now we're going to be giving you guys consistent messages from the motherland, talking about so many different things. I want to give you guys a little bit of the backstory of the vision of why we started this and what we plan on doing with this platform. All right. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us. I know you're going to love the show. I know you're going to love who we're going to bring on, and I know you're going to love the topics that we're going to talk about. So, hey, welcome to the journey. I want to give you guys a little bit of the vision as to why I'm doing this. Why do we get started? The vision for the show is for me to basically tell inspiring stories of my African brothers and sisters who were born and raised on the continent, and those of us who are deciding to return back to the motherland. A lot of us from the Western world, we have a dated image of what the motherland actually has to offer and what's going on over here. We have been taught by Western media, we've been taught by those who've colonized us on how to see our motherland and how to see the opportunity over there. So I've been fortunate enough to be able to live over here on the continent for the past almost 4 years, and I've been able to get connected with some very, very bright individuals, very, very smart, enthusiastic, very driven brothers and sisters who are doing things on another level that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know that there were people over here who are billionaires. I didn't know that there were people over here that are millionaires. I didn't know that there were people over here that are already in their fields and entrepreneurship, and people are at the top level in their fields over here in Africa. So I've had the privilege of being able to meet some great individuals while I've been over here. So I want to use this platform to give them an opportunity to tell the world what's going on over here in Africa. Because like I said, a lot of us don't have the right image of Africa. And I've been here for 4 years, so I feel like it's my duty to reach back to my brothers and sisters in the diaspora that's still in the West, and those who are even on the continent who have the wrong image of Africa. Because many of us, all of us literally, have been watching the media that they have put in our face about Africa. So many of the people who are even here on the continent think that they have to run to the Western world in order to build and do something. But I'm here to provide a platform to show that we all can stay on the motherland, stay on the continent, and build something here if we work together. Pamoja sana, like they say in Swahili. So yeah, my the next vision is I want to inspire and teach my brothers and sisters how to reach a higher level for themselves and their families, using the principles that God has given us, and share some of my experiences and what I've been able to overcome on my journey. The most important thing that we can do as a people is master ourselves and master our lives and master, what we do as people. If we can master that within ourselves, we can create the so-called Western world that we think we have to run to here on the continent. If everyone reached a level within themselves where they felt like they can do it on the continent, where we felt like we were at a higher level of understanding and of doing things, then we could do those things over here on the continent. So it's my vision and my goal to help a lot of my brothers and sisters reach that point within themselves where they feel like, you know what? I can do this. I've done the necessary hard work. I've looked within myself. I've healed from a lot of the things, because a lot of people don't know that they have to heal from traumas. A lot of people don't know that we have generational curses that we have to overcome. We don't know that we have to, a lot of the things that we were taught, a lot of the things that we saw our grandparents and mothers and fathers do, is very detrimental to us reaching that higher level within ourselves. So we have to unlearn a lot of the things that we were taught, because just like we seen things on the television that painted Africa in the wrong image. When a lot of our parents went to school, when they went into society, the same society that they learned from actually didn't teach them how to properly raise us to be what we needed to be in this time. So I've been fortunate enough to go down a journey. God has sent me on a journey of learning myself, learning how to help others, and learning how to be of service to my brothers and sisters. So I'm grateful to have this platform and to be able to use this platform to give my people inspiration and information on how to reach a higher level within themselves. So that's the second part of the vision and what I want to do with this podcast platform. And I want to read a quote that I came across that really has inspired me on this journey to really reaching this level and really getting to this point that I'm at. So let me pull it up real quick. Become the greatest your bloodline has ever seen, then pass it down. Become the greatest your bloodline has ever seen, then pass it down. We have to come to a point where we know, okay, many of us know and can understand that a lot of the moves that, our parents have made really weren't good, really didn't put our families in the best position. So we have to take it on upon ourselves to say, you know what, I need to become the best version that my bloodline has ever seen. Many of us have never seen millionaires in our family. Many of us have never seen wealthy individuals in our families. So we have to take it upon ourselves to become that individual and pass that down and change the way that our bloodline operates. That's been my ultimate goal since I've started my life journey, honestly. I always grew up knowing, like, you know what? This ain't right. Like this that's going on, God, I don't know what it is, but man, this ain't right. And I don't want to put no children in this type of environment, and I don't want to live my life in this way. So I always had this inkling because I didn't come from a home of mom and dad, perfect marriage, perfect life. They build everything together. No, I never even seen my mother and father together. I've never envisioned it. I don't even know what that looks like. So I know what it feels like not to have that. So I'm going to make sure that I do what it takes to make sure that I don't pass that down. So I took it upon myself to become the best version that my bloodline has ever seen. And I've been able to reach a level that many of my people in my family hasn't reached yet. And they've started calling me recently and congratulating me on the work that I've been doing. But at first, it wasn't congratulations. I was crazy. They didn't understand. I was highlighting things in the family. I was trying to figure out, okay, why we do this? Why? Tell me this. Can we talk about this? Things didn't want to be talked about, but I still had to go down that path to become the best version that my bloodline needs. So, I did the work, and I want to be able to let my people know and let them in onto my life and show you guys like, hey, we can become the best version that our bloodline has ever seen. We can become the first millionaires and billionaires in our families with trusting God. Just because you become a billionaire and a millionaire, that does not mean that you let God go or you discredit God. No, we can do this with God. We're going to do this with God. Wealth is something that is in our bloodlines. It's something that we are supposed to be obtaining. And I want to make sure that I teach my people that. And as I go on my journey and I reach back and give the principles that I've learned so far, we each one teach one. That's how the game goes. So I use this platform to give my people the game and show them what I've learned so that they can reach the best level of themselves for their bloodline. So yeah, that's a quote that really stick with me and really help me to stay on this journey and use my gift for what God has given it to me for. I feel like Africa has tremendous opportunity to help us reach our full potential for our bloodline. Like there's a lot of things that are here on the continent of Africa and the opportunity that's here that many people don't seem to think about and really take advantage of, unfortunately. Like I want to talk about 5 reasons why I feel like all black people around the world should consider Africa for them reaching their higher selves. Number 1, when you come to the continent of Africa, you receive spiritual healing. When you get here, there's a weight that's lifted off your shoulder from being in the Western world your entire life. There's a weight that you don't have to deal with the police brutality. You don't have to deal with having to worry about having anxiety when you go into any neighborhood or when you trying to just enjoy your life. And when I like to say it's difficult for us to heal in the same environment where we've gotten so much trauma. Like, how can you heal if you live right next to your slave master? How can you heal if every time you see a white person or someone who's caused you harm, like it's gonna rip the Band-Aid off every time? Every time you gotta ride around in those neighborhoods and see a statue, that's gonna rip the Band-Aid off of you. Anytime you have to get in the car and the police get behind you and you feel the anxiety, that's gonna not get you to a level of healing even more. That's going to hurt you even more. So how can you heal in the same environment where we've been caused so much trauma? So when you come back to the continent of Africa, you reach a point to where you're not surrounded by the same people who've caused you harm. So you can literally breathe. Like when I got to the continent of Africa, I literally felt like, okay, I don't have to tuck my black in no more. And y'all know what I mean when I say tuck my black in. When you go into certain neighborhoods, when you go into certain places, you have to, hey, my name is Timothy Ford, and I'm here to dun. You have to change and put your white voice on. But not in Africa, man. You can be you. You can be, if you relaxed and laid back, be laid back and be chill. You can be you here on the continent. You don't have to tuck your black in. So there's a spiritual healing that comes with coming to the continent. And I think all my people should take advantage of it. The second point is the economic opportunity that's here on the continent. There's so much opportunity. I like to tell people that here in Tanzania specifically, I know each country is developed in different places in different ways, but I like to tell people it's like you coming back to the, I want to say 60s or 70s with a cheat sheet. Like whatever you see in 2023, that's a big corporation, that's something that's major in the Western world. You literally have the ability to come and create that here. But it's going to take some work, and it's going to take the right mindset, and it's going to take righteously living and doing things. We can't come over here with the same negative mindset and negative spirit that brings us from America. You can't bring that here to create those businesses. You have to come over here and have the mindset of building something righteously alongside your brothers and sisters, helping each other reach another level. We can't come over here with the capitalistic mindset thing like, okay, I'm going to make them work for a small fee, and I'm going to take all of the income, and I'm going to take all of the revenue and leave people hanging. No. You have to come over here with the mindset of, okay, I'm going to make sure that I partner alongside my brothers and sisters so that we can build something here on the continent. Because if we all work together, we will get there a lot faster than us trying to take from one another and not pay someone their worth. That's what we've been dealing with for the past generation. So we have to be the generation that break that cycle and work alongside one another and treat each other properly and pay each other our worth. So the economic opportunity is here, but you just have to have the right mindset and take advantage. There's opportunities within the real estate sector. There's opportunities within the mining sector. There's opportunities within the technology sector. It's wide open, but you just have to have the right mindset and set yourself up properly. Follow the laws, follow the rules, and take advantage of the opportunity because it's here. And the third point I have is connecting back to our roots. On our healing journey, a lot of us black people, we are at a point where we're like, we know we've been bamboozled and lied to. We know, like, okay, something isn't right. The collective consciousness of most of us in our community now, we know, like, okay, something not right with what we've been taught. So when you come back to the motherland, you get that connection back to your roots, and you begin to see things differently and see the world for what it really is, and really have a better understanding of what they did to us. When you get back connected to your roots, you get to be able to talk to your brothers and sisters and see, like, many of us were taught that our African brothers and sisters didn't care about what we were going through in America. But now that I've been here, I realized that a lot of our brothers and sisters didn't even understand the fullness of what we were dealing with in America. Like, guys, they literally think that we are over there living in the utopian paradise. They think we are over there having a great time. We are over there kumbaya and living the American dream. And you and I both know that that is not the reality. So a lot of our African brothers and sisters don't even understand the reality and the severity of what we're dealing with. Like, they don't understand that George Floyd happens every single day. Every time I have a conversation with someone new that I meet here on the continent and I tell them that George Floyd happens every single day, they're like, what? How? I'm like, yeah, bro, literally, like I can name at least 50 people who've been murdered by the police officer in my lifetime. And they don't know that. They just know George Floyd and think it's a one-off thing. But when you come back and connect to your roots, you get to let them know, like, hey, bro, no, like, listen, living amongst them, being in that environment is not conducive. George Floyd happens every day. And so when you talk with them here on the continent, when you get back connected to your roots, you guys begin to help one another see the world for what it really is and be able to stay here and build something. So he'll be able to help you heal and connect back to your roots because he'll help understand where you're coming from. Like, man, I understand what my brother went through. So now I can help him, or she can help get through that. So yeah, connecting back to our roots will help us to get the spiritual healing that a lot of us are looking for in this time right now. We're trying to see what the world is really about and what we've been lied to about. So connecting back to your roots will help you figure out the reality of what we've been dealing with. And the next one is peace and safety for your family. And I'm going to just go ahead and read the next one after that. Peace and safety for your family and freedom from systemic racism. Peace and safety is one of the most important things that we all are looking for our families, man. And, just being real, we know we can't get that in America. Like, there's several stories of police officers going into homes while our people are sleeping and murdering them, or going into their homes and doing things, and that's put people's families in danger. Like, there's so many stories of it continuously happening in that environment. So that's not something that happens over here on the continent. I mean, of course, you have some things that happen, but for the most part, there isn't the same level of nefarious activities that happen to our people in America. So coming here, you are able to take advantage of being around your people, being around people that look like you and act like you and think like you in some areas. So they will have a more of a willingness to help you and keep you covered and protected. So yeah, and freedom from systemic racism. Now, if you're in 2023 continuously not accepting the fact that there's a system put in place to stop us from elevating, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Like, there's nothing that's gonna convince you that it is. So you should probably, I don't know, man. Hopefully you see it after watching this. But yeah, there's something in place that's trying to hold us back as a people, and it's very strong in the Western world. So being here, you have freedom from that. You are able to actually create in a system where you don't have to tuck your black in when you go in different environments. You don't have to worry about being denied a loan. You don't have to worry about if these people are going to come and buy from me if I put it in this neighborhood. No, you are in the place where all of your people don't even look at, like, long as you look like them, they don't even care. Like, we blend right in over here. It's crazy. As long as you have a product that's good enough that people need, they will come and get it. So that's the difference from being over here. You won't have different systematic things put in place hindering and stopping you from reaching your new level. All right. So yeah, being here is a great opportunity and a great chance for our people to reach a higher level within their bloodline, in my opinion. Like, some people would prefer to stay in the Western world and fight it out and keep trying to fight the good old fight. If that's what you want to do, that's good for you. Don't argue with me in my comments, because I do not care. I have a calling to show my people what's possible on the continent, so that's what I'm going to do. So if you feel like you need to stay over there and enjoy the purge, okay? All right. And I want to leave with a quote. You have a negative viewpoint about Africa because of the negative images from the media. The only reason you have a negative viewpoint about Africa is because of what the media has told you to think, what the media has put in your face, what the media has shown you. That's the only reason you have that viewpoint. We were never introduced to Africa on our own. We didn't get to say and search, what about Africa on our own? We were taught what to think. We were taught how to look at Africa. They gave us what they wanted us to see. So it's up to us to do the work in order to overcome what they taught us, overcome what they made us to think. And that's why I'm here on this platform. I want to be able to give messages from the motherland of the truth of what's going on over here, of the truth of what's happened over here, and of the truth about what we need to do to come together as a people and how we can reach a higher level within ourselves. So, hey, if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for staying tuned to the end. This is going to be a journey of learning and, like I say, interviewing different people who are doing some tremendous things over here on the continent. I don't plan on only staying in Tanzania. I plan on taking this thing all around Africa. I know a lot of people on the continent who are doing some major things. So I want to be able to sit down with all of them and give them a platform and let them know, hey, man, Africa we got it going on. So, hey, y'all stay tuned to Message from the Motherland. We'll be doing this weekly, and sometimes I'll be on here interviewing different individuals, and sometimes I'll be on here giving different mindset tips and telling people how I overcame certain obstacles on my journey to being over here on the motherland for almost 4 years. So, yeah, if you made it to the end, thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. And whichever platform you're listening to this on, make sure you show love, comment, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to know about the truth about what's going on the motherland. All right. So, yeah, thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the support. Y'all stay safe out there. Shalom.